UvaldeRadio.net, it's your concert station. That is Hope That's All Right by Mr. Weston Rips out of Castroville, Texas. And to talk about all his new music and the big show coming up this Saturday, I've got Weston on the phone right now. What's up, buddy? Yeah.
Hey, UvaldeRadio.net, what's going on?
Man, we're rocking, man, doing our thing. So we appreciate what you do. It's good to talk to you and get caught up again. You're always cranking out some new stuff over there in Castroville, right?
I'm doing my best, I'll tell you that. I'm doing my best to always crank stuff out. But yeah, I always have something in the works, that's for sure. So, and likewise, I appreciate Uvalde Radio and everything you're doing. Appreciate you guys having me out in Uvalde. Looking forward to playing out there this weekend.
Yeah, man. So, you, dude, I mean, let's go ahead and do a review. Now, we've talked to you a couple of times on the air, but for those who are hearing your voice on this station for the very first time, I know you do some songwriting for media, for TV, film, that kind of stuff. You do some personal stuff that's more rockin', some stuff that's a little bit more Americana country. I guess give us the quick review about Weston Rips, the musical journey so far.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I do right now. I write songs for TV ads, film, as well as stuff for myself that I release as an artist. My background, my brother and I had a 3-piece funk rock band, and we rocked out all through college, did a lot of regional size stuff, did a lot of opening slots for national bands back in the day. That was early 2000s, and we took a good long hiatus in 2008, and I came back on my own when I started writing for ads and TVs back in 2014, and since then I started putting out some music as an artist again, and I started actually playing some live shows more recent here in the last 2 years. And I'm starting to kind of slowly get out there. So as far as what I'm writing, the best thing about it being independent is I can write whatever I want, and I can produce and publish whatever I want. So it's kind of nice, to be in that much control of what I do. But I'm always cranking stuff out, like you said. And sure, yeah, my background is in rock. I started as a drummer, singer, and moved to guitar and still sing and harmonize and everything else. But yeah, the songs that you've gotten out have been more a mixture of rock, Americana, and some singer-songwriter stuff, like From the Stars, and some of the stuff that you'll be hearing from me in the near future is going to be a little bit more on the outlaw, almost dark country side.
Wow, very cool.
More new stuff coming out, yeah.
Now, the first time we spoke, I mean, you had, like you said, you were kind of, you weren't really doing that many live shows, more of kind of a studio guy for the most part. So, how has the vision for what you do in music changed over the years? Obviously, when you were younger, you're in a band, you're doing your thing. The big deal is how many people you can get to a club and what national acts you can play for. Eventually, you get older, you get married, you have kids. Then it becomes more about how to balance it, I guess, with real life and your art as well too. How has, I guess, your direction, what you're trying to accomplish, changed over the years?
That's a good question. It's basically expanded. Taking a hiatus from the band, and a lot of it was because of family focus. And once we had kids, I hit the studio hard at that time. I actually became a professional teacher. My background's in music. I was going to be a music teacher and ended up teaching general education, and through that time I built my studio. And once we had our first child, that was it. I resigned and I went full-time in the studio, and as our kids are growing up, I'm able to get out more, and that's really what it's come down to. And I've been building a brand, so why not get out there and really build it? So I guess my goals are to build my brand, whatever that looks like. I'm not about whatever making it means anymore. I'm about accumulating a career, not about blowing up at some point. That's not the goal. So I'm just accumulating a career and building my brand, which is my name and what I do.
Yeah, well, you've got some feathers in your hat. Obviously, you had a successful band when you were younger. Then you've got, I know you had that track on the Breaking Bad soundtrack. Obviously, you've been working on solo stuff, getting radio airplay now. Let's talk about the current stuff. Now, we've got a great single, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. This is my favorite song that I've heard you write so far and perform. So, From the Stars, which we'll talk about it here in a minute. But just previous to that, you did release your 2020 record, and then, of course, 2020 happened, and it was a doozy. So let's go ahead and rewind real quick to the release of your full length, your record, and how that's taken you so far, and what's come out of that release.
Oh man, what a story! I mean, in 2019, that project started. Late 2019, I started hitting. I had a Kickstarter campaign that really helped me fund it to put some money into products, up front, so that I was able to order shirts, records, and CDs and have some physical products. And I delivered those. It just took a lot longer than was planned because of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. But 2020 was kind of one of those. It's just amazing that all happened when we decided to go with the album title 2020. Mm-hmm. The album was supposed to be kind of my debut of putting my more personalized music out there that I'm writing for myself. And 2020 hit, and I did sneak out all the songs as singles as it went on, and I had a big release party planned out in Castroville, and we pretty much had it done. We had flyers ready to go, and we had to just pull it.
Yeah,
because it was going to be May a year ago. So we pulled it, and I ended up not being able to do the release party, but the release itself, I'd say, was a success due to me being able to get live stream. And I know you let me do a radio takeover. I had some other radio station buddies that let me do a takeover, and really I reached probably a similar or even better audience that way. It just wasn't in person, but I think that kind of helped me, give me a little boost to my brand and building that, like we were talking about.
So for somebody who pretty much tried, who basically launched kind of a new thing right around the time the pandemic happened, what are the lessons learned of that last year of basically, developing your brand as a solo artist, as a singer-songwriter, as kind of I do my own thing, I do me kind of artist? What have you learned? Any tricks of the trade, or I guess in a way it can't get any worse, right? There'll be no bigger obstacles than this, maybe.
Yeah, now and especially jumping from a teaching job, which is very secure in the beginning when I went all into music at the time. It was kind of a what if thing. What if things happen? And you're right. Now I know that we can probably get through anything, and this can be my lifelong career. I don't need to have a backup plan like I thought I needed, but you never know. But I have no plan on turning back. I feel like I belong in music and being creative in this way, and that's what I'm doing.
Well, very good, man. Again, we are talking to Weston Rips out of Castroville. He's got a big show coming up this Saturday. Going to be back here in Uvalde at the Hangar 6 Air Cafe. That's at 249 Airport Boulevard, right there at the Garnerfield Airport. Really nice spot out on the patio. Looks like the weather should be pretty good. We might get a little drizzle Friday evening, but I think Saturday it's going to be gorgeous. So we're looking forward to having you out here, man. So you've done a couple of shows in Uvalde at this point. Looking forward to coming back. Have you been to Hangar 6 before? What can we expect Saturday?
Oh, yeah, I'm excited to be back. No, I've only played at
Broadway, right?
830.
Yeah.
And, great place, and hopefully I can get back there again in the future. And, I know that's something you put on. I appreciate, you bringing me out to Uvalde, and I'm looking forward to coming back out. I haven't been out to Hangar 6 yet, so looks like a great venue, and I'm excited to go.
It is a great time out there. So again, the show will be 5 to 8 p.m. And then right after that, throughout the month of April, they've been doing these free drive-in movies on a big screen. So I know last weekend they did a bunch of 80s movies like Pretty in Pink and Breakfast Club, that kind of stuff. I'm not sure what's on the schedule this week, but go to hangar6aircafe.com and get details on that. See Weston Rips perform by the early afternoon and evening and late, early evening. And then, when dark falls, big screen with a drive-in movie. So good stuff. So Weston, let's go ahead and talk about the new single, man. I mean, wow. When I heard the song, it gave me all the feels, all the chills. I mean, it kind of, it broke my heart, but yet it's really hopeful, and beautiful. I mean, I can't say enough about your new song. You got to let me know what the inspiration was and what you were coming from on this tune. Yeah,
it's one of those that I don't know that it didn't come from a one instance, just kind of the reflection of many. And it's kind of weird because I was, at the time when I started writing that song, which is probably, 2018 maybe when I first started it, it was just a voice memo on my phone when I was driving, and I was thinking about the topic of the song, just losing somebody and it not being such a bad thing, the kind of the looking for the good in it. And you know, because we all have to face it, and it's all a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of, you know, it's sad, you know, it's definitely a tearjerker, but you know, like you said, I wanted it to be hopeful, not just, you know, it's on the bright side of people passing, and that's what I was looking at. But really, I was reflecting back on some past family members, and I never finished the song. And to be honest, the idea kind of came from a brief when I was writing for some TV shows, and you know, the brief got me thinking, and I really didn't write for the brief. I didn't make it in time, but it got a voice memo on my phone that I later came back to and really liked the idea. I laid down and I kept going with it, and it just wasn't finished. I couldn't get it right, and my grandma passed away this year, and you know, the words that were missing came to me, and honestly, it's the bells at the beginning of the song, the church bells, came from that. I was a pallbearer with my brothers and cousins carrying her out of the church. And if you've ever been to a Catholic funeral and you walk out, it's silent. And the only thing when you walk out holding a casket is those church bells ringing. And that's when it hit me with that song. And I remembered the lyrics right then. I remembered everything. And I was like, I'm going to revisit this tomorrow. So that's what inspired me to finish it, was that recent event.
Well, man, I'll tell you what, I mean, it is a beautiful song, and I think it's so roundly written to where I think anybody, you know, it's loose enough to where I think anybody, you know, can relate to it. It's not so specific, so I thank you for that.
Yeah.
I always appreciate that. And also, in light of the recent pandemic where a lot of people did lose, I think it was actually a very timely song. And what really makes me happy is that, you know, you had it with you for a while. I feel like sometimes tragedy, pandemic, you know what I mean, whatever these things are, a lot of times they spur a big rash of these types of songs, tribute, if you will, and sometimes they come off a little prefabricated. And your song is so genuine and so real, and the backstory, it really explains to me why that is. So, man, I mean, good on you, man.
Cool. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, and it's one of those. It's real. It's something that came from the heart, and I like writing stuff like that. And that's my only beef for TV, film, or for a publisher is, you know, you know, sometimes I can relate it to something if I get a brief and they need a song in a certain direction, and that's hard to do, but there's a skill to it, and everything is, you know, about building that muscle and flexing it when you need to, and you know, but I really like this when it just comes, you know, mainly from your own personal experiences. People relate to it better. And I have another one that's a little bit pandemic-driven in the future that you might hear. Mm-hmm. A little bit on the dark side and something you may not expect from me. But I don't want to say it's prefabricated because I didn't write it on purpose in that way either. It's more of a lonely mindset, but you'll definitely be able to tell it came from a pandemic mindset. So you'll have to hear that one in the future. Exciting.
Looking forward to that teaser. Very good. Again, we've been talking to Weston Rips here. He's out of Castroville. What are you going to bring out to us on the show Saturday? Some originals, some cover songs?
Oh, I'll definitely do. I'll mostly, you know, entertain with covers, and I'll do my fair share of originals in there, sneak them in. I'll do this new release for sure. I'll play From the Stars, and then I'm releasing a new song on Friday. It's called Dead Man Walking. It's kind of another fun feeling vibe to a sad kind of. It's not really a sad topic. It's more of a dead man walking, someone who is kind of getting himself in trouble. You know, kind of a cool little spin on it, but it's kind of a cool Americana vibe to it. So I'll definitely play that one too. It'll be Spotify and all platforms.
Okay, I was going to say, so we're going to get From the Stars on, but yeah, tell us where all the places we can get your music and, of course, your website as well, too.
WestonRips.com, and there's links there to anywhere you can stream it, and all my music's available anywhere you can stream it. And also I have, you mentioned It's Not Breaking Bad. I had a song that was in Shameless.
Oh, yes, Shameless, that's right. Yeah.
The great thing is that they used it in the last 3 seasons of they just finished their last episode, and my song was in the finale, not just the season finale, but the show finale. So I've had it. They used it 4 times, 3 different series, and the fourth one was in their Hall of Shame, where they kind of go through. It's kind of like replays of the characters. It was really cool. Yeah.
Obviously, they're really leaning on that track, so that's really cool for you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. The reuse was good for me, for sure. You know, it's a bummer the show ended because they liked the song so much they kept using it, so now they can't use it anymore. But you know, I'm happy about it.
Well, hopefully this turns into, some more licensing and, that kind of stuff for you. So excellent, man.
No.
Again, Weston Rips here. Let's go and get that new single on. Y'all find him at westonrips, which said music.com, right?
Yeah, that's either one. I own both domains, westonrips.com or westonripsmusic.com.
Right on. Okay, well, here's that song, man. Get ready to have your heartstrings tugged out a bit. This one's called From the Stars. It's Weston Rips. Don't miss him Saturday at Hangar 6 Air Cafe. This is UvaldeRadio.net. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Robert.
So it came to this, the one I never wanted to miss. I could give away my life today, but I don't feel the need, 'cause I have your memories, I had your love. I know you're happy, watching from the stars above. When life feels empty, I just look up. I feel you with me, watching from the stars above. So leave me a trail when I go, so I can find you. And through the pain, I'll find my way. No, I don't need to hurt, 'cause I have your memories, and I had your love. I know you're happy, watching from the stars above. When life feels empty, I just look up, and I feel you with me, watching from the stars above. Oh, I know you're watching over me, you're watching over me, so I can keep moving on. You're watching over me, watching over me, so I can keep. I have your memories, and I had your love. And I know you're happy, watching from the stars above. When life feels empty, I just look up. I feel you with me, watching from the stars above. I feel you with me, watching from the stars above.